Recording in progress.
Uh, so how was your meditation in these past 2 weeks? Doug, we'll start with you.
Mine was generally good. A couple of times I fell asleep. I don't know
Uh-huh.
I'm sure that's not good,
But
but
it meant you were relaxed.
yeah, I apparently was, yes, yeah.
Yes,
But other than that, I've been having good experiences.
that's good. I wonder a little bit when you say you've been having good experiences, what do you mean?
Well, by me, I mean by shutting off my, what do you call it, a monkey brain?
Monkey mind.
Monkey minds, yeah. I've
Yes,
been successful in turning that off for at least a fairly good period.
very good. How about you, Cheryl?
It's been pretty good. I have missed a few days here and there. I'm still sort of in travel mode. I've been in the same place now though for a little over 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
But and next week I'm moving again. And then at the end of October I'm coming back to Lakeside. Yay!
All right, yay.
Yeah. And I can reestablish a routine that makes sense in my own space. But
Uh-huh.
but I am most days I'm meditating and it's going okay.
Good, good. How about you, Carol?
Well, I'm glad to be back on track to have a more regular practice. So that's a really good thing.
Okay, good. Very good. Then let us proceed with it and do our first meditation. And uh, mindfulness is present moment awareness, paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non judgmentally. Feel your breath in and out, fully receive whatever is experienced, then let it go. And Right.
Mm.
Now, I'm going to continue today talking about the Yoga Sutras. And again, I'm talking about these because these are one of the oldest texts from India in which they're really starting to talk about meditation. And though what we're doing is mindfulness, not yoga, there is enough uh, relevance that I think it's important, and it kind of adds to our view. And so today I'm going to talk about chapter 1 still. These are verses 5 through 11. And this part of the Yoga Sutra is about uncoloring your thoughts. The joy of deeper meditation comes through the uncoloring of the mental obstacles that veil your true self. The idea is that who you really are is hidden behind a veil of ideas and assumptions and the feelings that rise from these. The goal of yoga is to pierce this veil so you see what and who is behind it. Real change flows naturally from seeing yourself in a new way. Yoga was defined in the last section as yoga is the stilling of the fluctuations of the mind. Then, in yoga or in meditation, when the mind is still, the meditator rests in their true nature. The goal of yoga is self realization. This is a common goal in India. And how to experience self realization begins in this section. The Yoga Sutras talk about 5 kinds of interfering thoughts. These are several types of interfering mental impressions or thoughts that block the realization of the true self, that obscure it. They are perceptions, both accurate and false. These affect you in the waking state. There is imagination. This you experience in the waking state and in the dream state. There's deep sleep in which the mind is inactive, but it still retains its tendencies. And then memory or recollection. And this you experience in waking, in dreaming, and even deep sleep. The yogi learns to witness thoughts with non-attachment, discriminate these 5, and cultivate the first kind of thought, which is knowing correctly, accurate perception, or what the Buddhists call right knowledge. And one of the things to notice is that thoughts are either colored or not colored. These thought patterns may be uh, colored, having to do with ignorance, with I-ness, your idea that you exist as a separate individual, or attachments, aversion, and fear. All of these things color your thoughts. And the simple observation whether thought patterns are colored or not colored is actually a very useful part of the process of purifying, balancing, stabilizing, and calming the mind so that deeper meditation and experience can come. By learning to explore and become witness to these five kinds of thoughts, and by learning to allow the coloring to fade through meditation, the veil over the truth gradually thins, and we become to experience our true self. We don't have to do anything to make our true self appear. We just need to rid ourselves of the ideas which obscure it. This uncoloring process is extremely important. It is further dealt with in Chapter 2, and it is such an important concept that it is virtually impossible to practice yoga or to be successful in deep meditation without understanding it. Mindfulness practice deals with this, with the process of mindfulness of thought. It's still basically the same thing. And now we're going to watch a short video on the Yoga Sutras, and this includes the ancient Indian view of non-duality, that reality is only one. Now this may be new to you, and if it is, just listen and have an open mind. There's a process involved here where first you hear of an idea, then you think, maybe, and then you start to think, maybe it's true, and then you have conviction, which is still just mental, and then the conviction moves to certainty, which is deeper than just the mental idea. And with this certainty, there comes then the direct experience where you experience the idea as true within your own life and experience. So that's the kind of process that we're talking about here in the long term. And so let me now play the video.
There is only one. There is no second, no third, no fourth, or many. Yet there is an apparent multiplicity around us. How can there be only one when multiplicity is perceived? Because we are entangled in a non-existing dance of manifestation. Therefore, we are unaware of the true nature of existence. All there is a non-dual reality. Experiencing and knowing this truth is the only Vidya, the only true knowledge there is. The root cause of all appearing multiplicity is Avidya. Vidya is true knowledge, A is without. So Avidya means without knowledge, or ignorance. It occurs when the One appears to veil its non-dual reality. Where the One seems to color itself with illusion by forgetting its own true nature. Avidya is the first klesha, or coloring, of the non-dual reality. Due to the notion of avidya, instantaneously asmita, klesha number 2, the finest individuation, seems to be added. A second now has been colored with I-ness and appears as self-existent. The appearing me has the instrument to discriminate, to know, to judge, and to decide, which is called buddhi. By using it, it carves up the non-dual reality in forms, words, and concepts, and therefore the apparent multiplicity is perceived. The appearing me colors this apparent multiplicity with raga, attraction, coloring number 3, and devesha, aversion, coloring number 4. It colors manifestation with I like and I don't like, with I want and I don't want. All are colorings of attachment. Every coloring has something to do with me and is stored within the chitta, within the mind field. For another me, the coloring will be different, and therefore the manifestation will be seen and experienced differently. All the 4 kleshas, avidya, asmita, raga, and devesha, seem to protect themselves by adding the appearance of fear. None of them want to disappear. None of them will volunteer to step aside so true nature can be experienced. Therefore the mind field is colored with fear, with abhinavesha. Abhinavesha is the 5th and the last coloring. It started with avidya, and the unavoidable result is abhinavesha, fear. To be in this appearing dualistic manifestation without abhinavesha, without fear, completely free and living in absolute joy, you will have to reduce the coloring stored in the chitta. You will have to uncolor the kleshas to unveil the illusion that there is a separate being other than the non-dual reality. Gradually, you can remove avidya by sharpening buddhi and apply it to discriminate between vidya and avidya. You will increasingly come to know the appearing manifestation without avidya, without the veiling of the non-dual reality, until you master to temporarily set aside all kleshas, and the One can rest in its true nature.
So, what we want to do in meditation is to see ourselves uncolored. That really means see ourselves as we truly are instead of based on all of these ideas and aversions that we have that condition our thoughts and actions. So, now let us have some more meditation so we can take this deeper. And breathing in, I feel energy filling my body. Breathing out, I feel calmness spread throughout my body.
Richard, the sound is distorted. It's more distracting than anything else.
Okay,
Amen.
it's off.
Thank you.
All right. And let's close with a short chant.
Oh,
Om Shanti Shanti
Shanti,
Shanti.
Shanti.
Om. Peace, peace, peace. All right. Questions, discussion.
Well, yeah, I can't say that I don't understand that about the coloring of the thoughts. Um, that's not clear to me how or what that is.
Okay. That's one of the things that it may be useful for you to then look at within yourself. And when you really start observing, you certainly you see you have all these thoughts. You know this already.
Right.
Uh, when you start to look at the thoughts, what you discover when you look at them closely is that all of them pretty much are about you or refer to you in some kind of way, and that in addition, the thoughts are more than just a thought or an idea. The thoughts you have, you are either attracted to things or repelled to things. Your lifetime of conditioning affects the way that you feel about the thoughts. The way that you feel about the thoughts affects your action, and it also can affect the way that you feel about yourself. And so the first part of it is really just to start to notice more about the thoughts and see if you can see how those thoughts are wired and how you're feeling about those thoughts, to use their language, colors those thoughts, and then that coloring, more than the thoughts themselves, affects you. So that's the kind of general idea, and I thought this was a worthwhile way to be able to introduce those ideas. So that is a stage of meditation practice that is beyond just being able to quiet the monkey mind, and it starts to look into how the monkey mind is wired and how that wiring affects your behavior. Does that make sense?
Yes. Now, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
That's a good explanation. So from that, then I've got something to base it on. So yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, good. I'm very glad you asked about it. This was, uh, kind of this is not a beginning lesson.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Right. Okay.
And Carol laughs. We've been involved in this non duality stuff for 30 years. So we are a little ahead of you in the book.
Well, more than a little. Yes.
I would say I'm ahead in the intellectual understanding, but not in the actual practice. So I'm at the same level as you guys.
And and again, it where the rubber really meets the road finally is that it moves past some kind of intellectual experience to your own direct, immediate experience of existence.
Uh-huh.
And so that is the long-term direction. It still takes a while to get there.
Well, no, yeah, well, no doubt. Um, but with your explanation, I think I have
Okay,
a good
okay,
starting point.
okay, great. Because
Okay.
it is to be able to progress. That's one of the things that helps you open the doors. The problem you start to find out as you have more experience is that all of these thoughts that you have just turn out to get in the way, and it's so you have to learn what is at the base of these thoughts, and that takes a lot of careful observation.
Hmm.
And it's hard
Okay.
to observe when your mind is noisy. So the what you're going through now is kind of preparing the ground so you can open the door. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
very good. Uh, if there is there anything else, or shall we just proceed and we'll see you next week?